Vento Kabchi action here in the semi-finals, and this is the Bank of the West Classic. We're in Palo Alto, and Pam, I was talking to Maria earlier today, and I said, "Is this the biggest match you've ever played?" And she said, "You know, in some ways, yes, but I was the first Venezuelan to get to the fourth round at Wimbledon," and she said, the two are close.
She actually played well right before Wimbledon this year, winning a lot of matches at Birmingham 2 weeks before Wimbledon, so she is a good all-court player.
Vento Kabchi, 27, Saddlebrook. She's a Florida girl and has been really all her life. 3 slams.
Right away, example of the power of Capriati. She finished off Lisa Raymond last night in the third set with a tremendous finish, winning 15 points in a row in the third set.
Yeah, but she was in trouble before that.
She certainly was. She was down 1-3 in the third. Vento showing that she's not afraid to go for the lines. It's probably going to be one of the things that Maria Vento Kabchi is going to have to do. Be brave. Hit the extremes. And hope Capriati is having a bit of an off day.
30 and 11 for this year, hardcourt record, 13 and 5.
Most of those 11 losses have been 3 sets. I think only 1 has been straight sets, and that was to Mauresmo. But you can see some success there in 3 sets. That Raymond match last night, everybody was talking, Peter Tatum, the tournament director, saying by far the best match of the tournament.
Game point, first game. 29 from Caracas, Venezuela. She spends a lot of time in Miami. Her mother lives in Miami. Her sister on Key Biscayne with 3 kids. Sister was a player, a pro tour player for a couple of years. One to Capriati. Vento Kabchi and Capriati have played 3 times, so she knows her game somewhat, and here she's talking about Capriati's game.
Well, she's, one of the best on the world. She's definitely a great player. I admire her, and she's so tough. Typically she's tough mentally. So, and also her game. She hits the ball so hard, and she's tough.
You can see there sort of the fear factor and a little bit of intimidation even in the interview. So that's why this service game very important for Vento Kabchi. The 3 previous times they've played, had a couple of close sets, but 6 straight sets to Capriati. She's won most of the matches in the second part of the first half. She really started poorly, winning the first match not until the 3rd month of the year.
The Stanford University team plays its matches, and it's very intimate stadium. It's very nice, in fact.
Those are rounds in the qualifying just to get into the main draw, where she beat Petrova, got the semifinals of the French, and Dakic, who's been a semifinalist at Wimbledon. Dakic is really struggling this year, and Vento took advantage of that. Also, Jidkova of Russia in the second round. So Vento has not gotten a free pass through to the semifinal. She has earned it well.
1 game out.
And And that hold of serve just settles the nerves. Even though she's older than Capriati, she would not have played in many semifinals and none of this importance.
Maria Vento Kabchi telling me earlier today that she has never been in better shape, 29 years old, but she has spent a lot of time in Saddlebrook.
Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of silence. Thank you.
Is just working like a Trojan.
It's great to see someone in their late 20s decide to give it a bit extra.
She works there with Pat Etcheberry. He's a well-known fitness trainer. And I said, why so late? And she sort of smiled and said, I don't know. I just figured it out at the end of last year.
Hey, you know the saying. Better late than never. Both these players spending time in Saddlebrook. That's been Capriati's base for some time. That's a bad miss, giving Capriati a game point. Vento Kabchi actually lost 6 of her first 7 matches of this year, and she went down to play an ITF Futures event in St. Paul, Minnesota. This would have been in the middle of winter. So that shows she's pretty brave just to go to St. Paul in the middle of winter. And she got to the finals. Capriati looking up at some luxury suites behind her.
Game, Capriati.
In fact, we are pretty close to Jennifer Capriati.
Thought it was me.
Capriati, 2-1 lead on serve first set, semi-final, Bank of the West.
Hey, Tom. Just wanted to let you know I'll be running our league on ESPN.com Fantasy Football League Manager.
Say, have you met my sister?
No.
Make ESPN.com your fantasy home.
I haven't.
And they'll thank you. Introducing ESPN.com Fantasy Football League Manager. Your league, your way. From the leader in fantasy sports. ESPN.com Fantasy Football League Manager. It's up and it's good.
It's our greatest sale ever. It's the Oak Mill's Great American Markdown. We've marked down, sale priced, and retagged some of our best sellers for immediate sale. Like this farmhouse 4-poster bed, only $3.99. This beautiful dining table and 6 chairs, only $3.99. This pier bedroom wall, only $6.99. And this cherry entertainment wall, only $8.99. Plus pay absolutely nothing for 1 full year. No down payment, no interest, and no payments for 1 full year. It's today, tonight, and tomorrow, only at the Oak Mill.
There is good, and there is evil. We all have within us the capacity for both. But in the end, a final question remains. Which side are you on? In an epic struggle between light and dark, choose your path and seal the fate of the galaxy. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, rated T for teens. For saving the galaxy, there's no power greater than X.
We're in Palo Alto, which is about 40 miles south of San Francisco. First set, 2-1. Capriati leading on serve. This is Maria Vento Kabchi to serve. A lot of similarities actually between these two players. Perhaps they look somewhat alike, they're built somewhat alike, Their games are similar, two-handed backhand and then the single-handed forehand. Even the serves are quite alike.
Big difference in power.
Love 30.
Good hustle there, not quite. Love 30.
Love 40.
Seen Vento miss a couple of routine backhands, and usually the two-handed side is the more steady side, but still this is early in the semifinal. Vento, a little bit uncharted waters for her.
Great points. Is good on the line, 15-40.
We're sitting just about on that sideline, and Vento showing her fitness and her
15-40.
running ability during that point. Capriati with a terrific slice backhand that catches the line here, and the flick of the wrist from Vento, and guess what? This one catches it as well.
That's just a good point. Both players. Some huge hitting there from Capriati.
30-40.
Not back up.
Both feet off the ground, typical for Capriati. This one gets her into trouble. She flicks the wrist, gets it back, doesn't buy herself any time, and Vento has a pretty easy pass down the line.
Break point.
Well, how about that? Love 40 to deuce.
Third damage, Vento Kabchi.
Getting out of love 40 games on serve gives you confidence no matter against whom or when, but to do it in the semifinals of your second service game against Capriati. Vento still needs to string a couple of points together now, back to deuce.
Third damage, Vento Kabchi.
Game point, Vento Kabchi.
Deuce.
Her mother worked for the Venezuelan embassy in Miami. Her mom lives in Coral Gables, and her sister, I mentioned, married 3 kids on Key Biscayne.
Means you've probably seen him.
Yeah, the Island Paradise. That's home for me
Third
too.
damage, Capriati.
Break point, Capriati. This is the 4th chance to break in this game.
Love to see Capriati moving forward. She has such a terrific volley, showing the one-handed backhand firm volley.
Deuce.
4th deuce.
4 break points as well.
Advantage, Capriati.
That is a ball called long. I think it might have been an overrule, and this is another chance to break for Capriati.
Ooh, just a fraction from a service winner, and a player who really doesn't rely on service winners. 93 miles an hour, well located.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Backhand misfired a few times in the first couple of games, but that off backhand down the line and short finds the sideline. Capriati gives you great pace. That one's in the middle of the court, so Vento had enough time to go for her shot.
Advantage, Vento Kabchi.
Pam and I down there courtside ready to start to open the show, and the announcer is talking about Jennifer Capriati, says 13 tournaments to her credit, 3 slams, and we looked at each other. That's a high percentage.
Yeah, to have, usually when people have won 3 majors, they've won a lot more than 13 overall titles. Davenport would be a great example of that. She's got about 30 tournament wins. Forehand can just strike from any part of the court. What a marathon game. 6th deuce.
Advantage, Capriati.
You have to go for that shot. You really need to hit that winner. You can see the Grand Slam titles that won in 2001 at the Australian, which we had live on ESPN. That was an amazing story for tennis, coming back from the deep, dark depths of trouble. And
The next year we also had live. And what a memorable match that was against Martina Hingis.
4 championship points.
Game, Capriati.
Capriati gets the break, 3-1 in the first set. Tomorrow we'll have the championship of the Bank of the West Classic right here on ESPN2, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Winner of this match takes on either Kim Clijsters or Francesca Schiavone of Italy. For more on this, you can please log on to ESPN.com.
Schiavone, part of the Italian Fed Cup team that lost last weekend to the United States in Washington, D.C., but has been playing some pretty good tennis. Plays Clijsters, who again has reached the semifinals of the tournament. She's done that each and every time she's entered an event this year, Clijsters, and that's why she's 2 in the world and not that far from Serena Williams. Serena will maintain the #1 spot no matter what Clijsters does here. Remember at Wimbledon, Clijsters just needed to finish 1 round ahead, and she would take over #1. Oh, what a tough point for both players, and that's what Vento does well. She stays within herself when she needs to, and she has the chance. She's got a little bit of punch with her shots, so she can hit some winners. That last game, though, was just a huge game. 2-all or 3-1. Big difference when you're the lower-ranked player. You need to try and keep it close at the beginning of a match.
30-15 Capriati. Kim Clijsters and Jennifer Capriati final would be an outstanding one here. What's Kim Clijsters' boyfriend doing today?
He's supposed to be playing golf with my husband in a little while after he practices at UCLA. Leighton was here all week, flew down early this morning, practicing at UCLA. The men's Mercedes-Benz Cup tournament starts on Monday. He's the #1 seed there, Leighton.
This is the start of the California swing of the women's tour that heads all the way from here in California. 3 tournaments, and then Canada and the U.S. Open.
With New Haven between Canada and the U.S. Open, ESPN is there. Oh, there's that net play again. Capriati could really use this play more in the big matches.
40-15.
Doesn't give herself enough credit for the kind of volleyer she is. A little bit loose with the face there, but that was a low volley. But look at this one. She's so definite. Moves in towards the net.
Consolidating the breaker serve. Capriati now 4-1. 1 break. Jennifer Capriati in action. She with so many expressions, some of joy, some of disgust.
At Bank of the West, we've been here in the West for 128 years. And like a lot of pioneers, we tend to do things our own way. Like having telephones in every branch with real people to answer them, and hiring enough tellers so you don't have to wait in long lines. We even look for ways not to charge you fees. Now, we understand this isn't the way most banks operate these days, but don't worry, you'll get used to it.
Son, I think it's time we had that little talk.
Okay, Dad.
Well, I know it's kind of awkward, but you're old enough now, and it's time you learned about supply chain management. See, it's all about businesses sourcing materials and delivering products to market more efficiently. You follow?
Okay, so not everyone understands supply chain management, but we do. CNF. We straighten out supply chains for leading companies worldwide. CNF, where supply meets demand.
Time to get to work. It's Monday morning. If you haven't left yet, traffic is backed up on the 10. Taking a look at the world's
Starbucks Double Shot Espresso drink is an invigorating blend of espresso and cream to help you take on your day.
Watching the semifinals of the Bank of the West Classic, everyone. Cliff Dreiser, Pam Shriver, Jennifer Capriati is the #3 seed. Semifinals. Taking on Maria Vento Kabchi of Venezuela.
15-love.
4-1 Capriati first set.
Great combination. Oh! I'm not sure I've ever seen a ball that was so far outside the court, hit so slowly, hit against the single stick. And this is going about a yard wide. And Vento go, oops, 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 got to make another play. That was pretty funny.
30 love.
Again, the net play. Capriati this time sneaks in when she sees the quality of her cross court.
Game point, Vento Kabchi.
That sneaky serve, getting a free point. Capriati won her 2 Australian Open championships. The forehand was lethal, and she can do so much damage on the run out wide. That was a defensive shot, a desperation play. It's low, it's wide. The flick of the wrist finds the corner.
Vento Kabchi.
Vento Kabchi wins that game 4-2. One breaker serve.
Capriati leads 4 games to 2.
And it was a struggle for Capriati to break, but she did. First semi-final of the day, and championship match tomorrow.
Not that easy to have such a tough night match. Capriati winning 6-4 in the third last night against Lisa Raymond, and then turn around and come right back.
Semi-finals of the Bank of the West. Solid play there at 30 love now for Capriati in this game.
30 love.
Again, it's Jennifer Capriati with the lead, one break against Maria Vento Kabchi.
5 for 5 when she comes to net.
Other semi-final match played tonight, Casters and Schiavone.
30-15.
Winners tomorrow. 4-2, 30-15.
Vento Kabchi's had a couple of good wins this week. Petrova and Dokic. She came through qualifying. Whenever a qualifier has about 5 matches, 5 wins, means they're dangerous. We see it at the majors a lot, Cliff. Get these qualifiers that just get so stubborn.
Well, a tournament like this is going to help Vento Kabchi even if she loses, isn't she? Because now she may not, or probably will not, have to qualify as much, certainly, she has had to.
Currently 132 in the world. You've got to take one step at a time. The U.S. Open entries have already closed, so she'll be in the qualifying there. If this tournament success had been a couple of weeks ago, this is the kind of result that can get you into the main draw of the majors. That's a huge step.
Game point.
Deuce.
Second double fault for Capriati. 4-2 and deuce.
Advantage, Capriati.
You know, the players can get a heck of an education in this summer hard court season leading up to the U.S. Open. Here they play at Stanford, and the women's tournament is moved to Cal State Dominguez Hills in Carson. And then, of course, Yale University, New Haven. You know, if they just took a couple of credits each of these weeks, you know, they could have a college degree at the end of like 3 or 4 years on the tour.
Deuce.
Big difference between the Yale University campus stadium and this one. This is much more intimate and much smaller. 4,300 spectators, and that is what is in attendance here today.
Boy, would this stadium house some fabulous dual matches through the years in both men's and women's NCAA action. Just saw legendary men's coach here, Dick Gould. We've seen his teams win so many NCAA titles, both individual and team. Yep, just wide. We're on that sideline. Capriati doubts it. It's definitely wide.
Deuce.
The Cardinal women's team is coached by Lili Faroud, who played the WTA Tour for quite a few years in the late 70s, early 80s.
deuce.
More
Well,
advantage,
when you
Capriati.
consider it over the last 5 years, Stanford has been the best sports school in the country, all sports considered. Longhorn's pretty close behind them. But it has a huge tradition, history of sports.
Yeah, within a few hundred yards of this tennis facility, you could just about go play any sport that you want. Great swimming facility, track and field.
It's wide, deuce.
Deuce.
Maples Pavilion, where the Cardinal play basketball, just right next door. A little anger on that serve. Capriati would like to see 5-2 already.
How similar do you think, after that third double fault from Capriati, are the conditions of this court to those at the U.S. Open?
Well, I asked Lisa Raymond, who was warming up with Cara Black for a doubles match, how they were. And they said medium pace, probably not quite as fast as the U.S. Open. I really think the U.S. Open has the fastest courts during the summer season. New Haven the week before tries to match the U.S. Open exactly.
Point.
Wow.
Vento Kabchi.
Huge game there and a break back, so we're on serve in the first set now. It's Maria Vento Kabchi and Jennifer Capriati.
Capriati leads.
You see a grueling commute. At Franklin Templeton, we saw a reason to invest in tax-free bonds for mass transit. Investing in our communities while helping shareholders keep more of what they earn requires a unique perspective, the kind that comes from having one of the largest research teams in the industry and has made Franklin the nation's leading tax-free mutual fund manager. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Okay, Bob. Out of the pool.
X Games comes to LA. It's off the hizzle for shizzle dizzle.
Starts August 16th on ABC. X Games 9 presented by Saturn.
When it's finally time to move on, the new Saturn Ion Quad Coupe has a 140 horsepower engine, rear access doors, and a fold flat seat, so you can fit your bed, your bookshelves, your coffee table, your TV stand, and your chairs, which leaves just enough room for your desk. Get a new 2003 Saturn Ion at 0% APR financing and $1,500 towards your down payment. For restrictions, see your retailer.
Get an unprecedented look at the making of the best sports show on television.
Inside Sports Center.
And it all leads up to the live broadcast at 11. This is Sports Center, presented by Microsoft, Tuesday at 10 on ESPN.
4-3 Jennifer Capriati against Maria Vento Kabchi. How was she able to turn things around so relatively late?
It's not easy, you know. Sometimes we players, we just keep going and don't realize what the problem is sometimes. And I was able to do that, and that's when I got in better shape. I'm training now with Pat Echeverry at Southerbrook, so I got in, you know, the best shape that I feel I am right now. And I've been really working very hard, and I think that have helped me a lot.
You know, it's so easy to get into cycles of losing patterns. Back in '98, Vento was in the top 35 in the world. She's been outside the top 100 most of the last 4 years. And I give her a lot of credit in her late 20s to dig deep. I mean, when you work with Pat Echeverry, it's fun only because you see your results get better. But it is not a laughing matter.
The process is not fun.
No, but point is, it motivates you because you know that you can last in points against a Jennifer Capriati. You can see the evaporation of her ranking since '98, and now she'll be able to get back into double figures at least
but loves 30 in this game.
With weeks like this, you really just can pile on some points in a hurry.
And now 3 break points for Capriati coming up. So just broken, and she's ready to make a move.
And Capriati in her last service game with a couple double faults, she had gained points to take a 5-2 lead. So you know in the sit-down, she gave herself a good little lecture. And she's come out, good determination here to break.
A couple of doubles in that game, third of the match, and it takes its toll. 5-3 Capriati now. She'll serve for the set.
Boy, not on serve very long at all. You work so hard to get the break back. You're serving for 4-all. You don't win a point. At love 40, it's a double, and it seems like in 35 seconds you've dropped serve.
Pam, it's a huge message that about working with somebody who really knows what they're doing in the health and fitness department. And you wonder why every tennis player doesn't do that, because that's what you have to do these days.
Capriati's here with Lisa Burnett, who's been helping her fitness. Excuse me, Lisa Austin. Karen Burnett has also helped her through the years.
Love 30.
Love 30. If you're in great shape, it allows you not to have to think about such an important aspect and whether you can last. If you know you can last, you've got other things to think about that are more important.
30-all.
30-all now.
Good time to throw in a solid serve, 102 miles an hour, forcing the error.
2 points from the set for Capriati.
Didn't quite get the wrist on top of that one. Is that a football score? No, 14-7 winners. We shouldn't have seen a lot of winners in this set. Whoops.
30-40.
Break point. This would be the second break for Vento Kabchi, and would get her back on serve.
Again.
Double fault from Capriati, and she gets broken again. Now the question is, can Vento Kabchi hold serve? A lot of breaks lately here in this first set. At the Bank of the West Classic at Stanford University.
Why are you calling me? Why? Sorry, that was pretty rude of me.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside.
I'm sorry, please offer you join there. Good?
With no hope in your arms so tight.
Is it always like this around here? Just when the JetBlue flight's coming.
JetBlue's making the world a better place, one flight at a time. Check us out at jetblue.com.
Are you in on it? To find better travel deals, use Cheap Ticket's advanced fare search technology. Go to travel.cheaptickets.com for even lower prices on cars, cruises, and vacation packages. Or call now. Why just save on airfares? Now find the lowest hotel prices. 110% guaranteed. Cheap Tickets, the best kept secret in travel.
Bank of the West semi-final women's singles.
Boy, Capriati is so much more aggressive when she's returning serve right now. I mean, she has double faulted 4 times, most in the last couple of service games, but right off the bat, her return is just killer. We'll see how Vento responds. Love 15 with a second serve.
They're on the return from Capriati, and it's 15 all, 4-5 first set. 2 breaks apiece.
Wow.
Take that.
Stephen Capriati, who is not only brother but practice partner for Jen. Finished his college career last year. He would have played here a few times. Interesting pattern in this game. On the deuce side, Capriati is winning the points easily with a return of serve, and on the ad side, she's missed a couple of forehand returns wildly.
That missed forehand gives Capriati a set point. That approach shot is wide in the first set, goes to Capriati, notwithstanding losing her serve twice. Maria Vento Kabchi losing hers 3 times. Set 2, and we come back. First set, the number 3 seed, 6-4.
At Bank of the West, we've been here in the West for 128 years. And like a lot of pioneers, we tend to do things our own way. Like having telephones at every branch with real people to answer them, and hiring enough tellers so you don't have to wait in long lines. We even look for ways not to charge you fees. Now, we understand this isn't the way most banks operate these days, but don't worry, you'll get used to it.
Okay, Bob. Out of the pool.
X Games, come to LA. It's off the hizzle for shizzle dizzle.
Starts August 16th on ABC. X Games 9, presented by Adidas.
Got these in a tin? Let me check in the back. Here you go.
Thanks.
SL4 hoops from Adidas, only at Foot Locker.
Hey, man, you got this in a tin? Let me check.
Get an unprecedented look at the making of the best sports show on television.
Inside Sports Center.
And it all leads up to the live broadcast at 11. This is Sports Center, presented by Microsoft, Tuesday at 10 on ESPN.
Sure, I respect the tradition of golf, but I gotta admit, I'm really looking forward to the battle at the bridges.
Tiger Woods and Ernie Els face Sergio Garcia and Phil Mickelson. Lincoln Financial Battle at the Bridges. Monday night, 8 Eastern on ABC Sports. Championship Television.
Put away the sunblock. Football's back. Halfway around the globe, the Jets have landed. And the Bucs are through basking in Super Bowl glory. 2 of the game's fiercest leaders ready their squads for battle. Jets, Bucs, 8 p.m. next Saturday on ESPN.
If you suffer from
I definitely feel that Huffines is the best place to purchase a vehicle. I would come back again.
And now at Ray Huffines, pay just $299 per month on new 2003 Huffines Chevy Tahoe LSs, or pay only $329 per month on new 2003 Huffines Chevy Suburban LSs at Ray Huffines Chevrolet at Coit Road and Plano Parkway in Plano.
Is your child protected for the future? For years, Gerber has been telling you about the Grow Up Plan.
It's a $5,000 cash value life insurance policy that costs less than $1 per week. At age 21, the protection doubles to $10,000 with no increase in premiums. Call now for your free information package. The Gerber Life Grow-Up Plan, a solid investment in your child's future. Call now.
Call this toll-free number for free information about Gerber's Grow-Up Plan. Call now.
Second set.
Campus of Stanford University, welcome everyone to the Bank of the West Classic semi-finals. Capriati winning the first set. There's Vento Kabchi. First point, second set, 15-love Capriati. Our director, Bob Rosberg, whose dad is in the Hall of Fame here in Stanford. Golf, although he was a pretty good baseball player as well. And the tournament director, Peter Tatum, his dad won the NCAA in golf. He's only one of two players to have done that. The other one was Tiger Woods.
You would think that Stanford would have more than two NCAA golf champions in their great history. They have a course nearby.
$30.
30 all.
Ooh, broken string. Oh.
34.
Breaks the concentration, not just the string, but broke Capriati's thought pattern. Missed the shot. You know, all you have to do is just get it back. They'll probably miss the next shot or have to come to net behind nothing.
Marina Vento Kabchi has never won a tournament in her career. This is a semi-final.
Not at the WTA Tour level, but ITF level, yes.
Yes.
ITF is the satellite level right below the tours, and players like Vento Kabchi can really gain some benefit. We mentioned how she got to the finals of the tournament in St. Paul, and that helped turn around her year a few months ago.
Let's proceed. Let's proceed.
Wow. Best point of the match. Capriati had to stretch and hit a handful of one-handed slice backhands that she is really doing well. It kept her in that point. Finally, Vento Kabchi had to come to net. She had no other option with this floater. Only her second time to net.
Closing that door in a hurry, that two-hander down the line, clean winner, deuce. First game, second set, first set, Capriati.
Advantage, Capriati.
Depth of that forehand is what got to Vento.
Game, Capriati.
Jennifer Capriati, the favorite to win this semifinal, but the first set was very close. 5 breaks of serve. Vento from Venezuela serving here Two-handed backhand, but Capriati is the one that looks to take charge, that winning forehand. You can also hit the off forehand well. Her net play, Capriati, in the first set was almost perfect. It's one of the reasons why she did win that first set, although not without some problems from Vento. Unforced errors, not too bad. Capriati would like to have that a little less than 20, but so many times you do see Capriati with more unforced errors than winners. Vento's the one, Cliff, that I think is probably playing a little bit outside her comfort zone. She's going for things a little bit more. She knows that's what she has to do. That's why she has more unforced errors than normal.
15 all in this game. Pam, I was wondering about what you think about the warm-up for, say, the U.S. Open. This is sort of early, isn't it, for Capriati to be starting if she's going to play like 5 tournaments in a row going to the Open?
I don't think anyone plays all the hard court seasons. They maybe juggle each year. They try and find the right formula. Capriati's only played out here a couple of times.
The Williams sisters, on the other hand, play relatively few tournaments.
40 love. Serena pulling out here, but entering the Acura Classic next week at La Costa. And Serena usually plays in Los Angeles and will again this year. Still perfect up at net.
40-15.
Venus is the one that you got to keep an eye on. She re-aggravated that abdominal strain playing Clijsters at Wimbledon. She's obviously suffering in the finals. She needs to take enough time off to have that 100% better before she starts her hard court season.
Max. Person. Vento Kabchi. One game out.
One game apiece in the second set tomorrow. ABC Sports take you to the beautiful west coast of Scotland final round. MasterCard Senior British Open coverage beginning at 1 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. Paul Mason is leading at the moment. Wybringer 13 under. Tom Watson 11 under. Tom Kite there as well. Jimmy Colbert playing well. Jack Nicklaus at 6 under.
Boy, what a summer Tom Watson has had, and Carl Mason just turned 50. It's got to be the happiest people in the world to turn 50 are professional golfers. Played at Turnberry, one of the great courses in Scotland.
15 left.
Yeah, it is. It's a great golf course on the ocean.
30 left.
Tommy Watson, a Stanford boy as well.
Yeah, he's in the middle of, I think, he's playing something like 6 straight majors between the majors on the regular tour and the senior tour. What about Craig Stadler winning on the PGA Tour and the senior tour back-to-back? He's also in the field over there. What a great play that defensive lob is. It's such an understated and underused play now in the game. So many times players try and belt their way out of trouble when they're out wide. Vento using the throwback play there. Capriati missing.
Jennifer Capriati may and probably will end up winning this match. She's never lost a set in the past to Maria Vento Kabchi, but she is being made to work.
It's also her 5th set in about 19 hours. Played the night match last night. Lisa Raymond beating Raymond 6-4 in the 3rd.
She was down a break, and she was down points to go down a second break in the 3rd. So, yeah, she finished up with an outstanding last few games, but struggled. overall.
Game
Capriati holds on 2-1 on serve in the second. First set 6-4 to Jennifer Capriati, who's the number 3 seed here at the Bank of the West.
There it is. Oh, change of plans. Turn right.
Introducing Cayenne, pure Porsche, in a most unexpected form.
You see a countryside without phone lines. At Franklin Templeton, we saw an opportunity to invest in what became one of the world's leading wireless communications companies. A smart call for our shareholders. Uncovering hidden opportunities like this requires a unique perspective, one that has made Templeton the pioneer in global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Introducing V8 Splash Smoothies. A refreshing fruity blend full of vitamins, calcium, and a splash of soy protein. It's the energizing nutrition you need to do what you love to do. V8 Splash Smoothies. A new way to drink smarter.
Campus of this outstanding university here in California, Northern California, Stanford, just about a 30-minute drive from the airport or downtown San Francisco. Semifinals of the Bank of the West Classic. Cliff Drysdale alongside Pam Shriver. First set to Capriati, 2-1 in the second.
Back in about 1976, I made my first and only college campus visit, thinking I might go to college. Vento, going to school on her serve here, not winning enough points on the first serve.
You've got a pretty good record here, haven't you, Pam, at this event?
Well, probably won a
doubles?
doubles title or two.
$15.30. Martina Navratilova and Monica Seles played here 3 straight finals in 92 and 91 and 1990.
This tournament used to be played indoors right in Oakland at the Coliseum and then a couple other sites in and around Oakland before finding a home here about 7 years ago. Oh, catching the line. Beautiful forehand. Capriati can do the damage down the line or cross-court, and because she flicks that wrist so quickly, it's awfully difficult for the opponent to pick the direction.
Break points for Capriati.
Out. 30-40.
The decision there for Vento was whether or not to take the ball in the air. The last ball, slice backhand for Capriati. It's going to be an air ball. Vento decides to wait. That's where she's more comfortable.
From the net there for the Venezuelan Maria Vento Kabchi, and she's got a game point after being down 15-40.
A little bit of a looser neck cord here than some places. Capriati almost got there. I'll tell you, she hustles. She gets to a lot of balls you don't think she's going to get to.
That's really strong stuff, and it's 2 games all now in the second. Good comeback there.
2 games all.
Vento Kabchi.
It's good to see Vento Kabchi playing such a quality semifinal. A lot of times the lower-ranked player, they'll get to this stage and they've run out of gas, but we talked about how she's improved her fitness. You know, she played a good first set, got back on serve after dropping an early service game.
Or be intimidated by a name like Capriati.
Yeah, we saw her talking about Capriati earlier. She looked like she maybe was intimidated.
JetBlue Airways, one of the sponsors here alongside the Bank of the West.
They fly a little faster than that to get to New York, nonstop from the West Coast. Fifth double. Hadn't served one in a little while. Only winning 1 of 3 points on her second serve.
15-30.
Oh, she was waiting for that one and just did not make the shot.
And Cliff, these are important points right now in the second set. We showed at the top of the show that Capriati has only won 1 semifinal match all year long. She's struggled in 3-set matches. That plays on in your head, even against an opponent like Vento. Capriati does not want to mess around and get things complicated in this semifinal. She wants to win pretty routinely.
Game point. So Capriati holds on, 3-2. She is on serve and in front. She also won the first. Is Vento going to become discouraged?
At Bank of the West, we've been here in the West for 128 years. And like a lot of pioneers, we tend to do things our own way. Like having telephones in every branch with real people to answer them, and hiring enough tellers so you don't have to wait in long lines. We even look for ways not to charge you fees. Now, we understand this isn't the way most banks operate these days, but don't worry, you'll get used to it.
Imagine cruising in your brand new Kia Spectra. You got the tunes cranked, the controls at your fingertips, and cash in your pocket. And with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, you're not worried about a thing. Just driving and taking in that new car smell. You know, the real kind. Not that stuff that comes in a bottle. The Kia Spectra, loaded with features for thousands less than a Civic. Imagine that. Now get the Kia Spectra starting at $8,235 after $4,000 cash back.
Newsflash,
there is good, and there is evil. We all have within us the capacity for both. But in the end, a final question remains. Which side are you on? In an epic struggle between light and dark, choose your path. and seal the fate of the galaxy. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, rated T for teen. For saving the galaxy, there's no power greater than X.
Guys, during the Dodge Summer Sales Drive, you can get the sporty neon SXT.
Forte!
Or the hot-looking Stratus SXT.
Smokin'!
And now grab up to $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing for up to 60 months, making the Dodge SXT with sporty wheels and kickin' CD sound an even bigger value.
And they're backed by our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Let us prove we got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Bank of the West Classic, started in 1971. In fact, it is the oldest professional tournament that had been run every year in the world.
On the women's side, yep.
On the women's side. Billie Jean King beat Rosie Casals in that year, that first year.
And probably Billie Jean and Rosie would have been 10-10 up at net in that match, just like Capriati.
15 love.
Billie Jean King seeing her Fed Cup team get through to the semifinals with a win last weekend.
Very strong. Change direction with that forehand side with so much confidence from Capriati. 15 all.
Here's Dick Gould, coach of the men's team here. One of the most well-respected coaches in the world, and he's been here for a long, long time, and he's seen some great players come through.
He's seen some great ones, including our compadre Patrick McEnroe.
And his older brother.
A couple of wild men here with Jeff Tarango and John McEnroe.
30-15.
As you said, hugely successful.
Look at her footwork. So quick to change direction, but can't quite get to that one. I'm telling you, Vento's power is sneaky. It's easy to underestimate an opponent like Vento Kabchi. She doesn't have that weapon that kind of wakes you up in warm-up.
Vento Kabchi, relatively newly married, met her husband on the tennis court. He lives in Venezuela now. So I said, will you play against him? And she said, no, we're too competitive. Change of pace, and the break point coming up.
Power shots with a little bit of topspin, and then pull the string on the drop shot. The dropper.
Break point. And double fault.
Capriati, new balls, please.
4-2 for Capriati. Championship match tomorrow, Bank of the West Classic, ESPN 2, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The winner of this one take on either Kim Kleisters of Holland, of Belgium rather, or Francesca Schiavone of Italy.
Kleisters and Capriati have had some tough three-set matches. In fact, that's who Capriati beat in the semifinals of the Australian Open, the last tournament she won. 3 sets. And Kleisters is another player that's been struggling big matches. Even though she's been through to all semifinals this year, Kleisters recently especially at the majors this year, has had some hiccups.
But it's tough, Pam, when you've got the Williams sisters who dominate so clearly. I mean, it's one thing to get to the semifinals, another thing to get to the finals when you're so often looking at either Venus or Serena.
And I think the match that is sort of mentally still with Clijsters when it comes to closing out matches is that semifinal of the Australian where she led 5-1 in the third 2-match points against Serena. 6th double fault now for Capriati.
15-30.
Ooh, 30. Boy, I tell you, Capriati does that a lot. Follows up a double fault with an ace or a service winner. This is where she dropped serve in the first set, and she was up 4-2, serving for 5-2.
$40-30.
40-30. Is tennis going to lose Serena Williams to an acting career?
Well, not anytime soon. She's too good at tennis. Not saying that she's chopped liver at acting, but compared to her tennis, she's taking advantages of opportunities that are open now. Good for her.
That goes wide, and Capriati holds 5-2. She's 4 points, 1 game away from a place in the Bank of the West championship match tomorrow.
Why are you calling me? Why? Sorry, that was pretty rude of me.
I can't stop this feeling.
I'm sorry. Please, after you, I'm Sam.
With no hope in your arms so tight.
Is it always like this around here?
Just when the JetBlue flights come in.
JetBlue's making the world a better place, one flight at a time. Check us out at jetblue.com.
Come to L.A. It's off the Hizzle for Shizzle Dizzle.
Starts August 16th on ABC, presented by Right Guard.
Jim Brewer here. Going to show you how the new Right Guard Extreme Power Caps work. Power Caps are little balls of extra odor fighters. Let's say these guys represent odor, and the balls my friend Randy Johnson has here represent the Power Caps. Power Caps destroy odors on contact. Get extreme, get Right Guard. You do not want to be odor right now.
Get an unprecedented look at the making of the best sports show on television.
Inside Sports Show.
And it all leads up to the live broadcast at 11. This is Sports Center, presented by Microsoft, Tuesday at 10 on ESPN.
ESPN2's presentation of the Bank of the West Classic, brought to you by the Bank of the West, serving the personal and business banking needs of the West since 1874, and by Porsche, for the pure sport of driving. Palo Alto, California, hosting this Bank of the West Classic, and Jennifer Capriati 4 points away from a spot in the final.
Sit quickly, please.
Maria Vento Kabchi, Venezuela, serving here at 2-5.
It's where you have to stop yourself from thinking about the great week you've had and the fantastic wins over Petrova and Dokic. And for Vento to still battle away. You know, Capriati doesn't always close out easily when she has leads in matches. 30 all.
40-30.
Well, 15-30, couple of straight points. Now game point for 5-3. Again, Capriati. She just gets a bit edgy. And it's time to head to the locker room.
Is there anybody, Pam, as she loses that game and it's 5-3 now, that doesn't get a little edgy at this stage?
Well, you know, I think there's times in your career where you just get there very routinely. You're very confident. I think Capriati was like that a couple of years ago. She just got through her matches and she never, very seldom stumbled. But this year, with her record in close matches and not being able to get to many finals, only one, this is where the mental part comes into the game, and it's much tougher to figure out the mental side than the physical side.
Yeah, they seem both to have broken that physical code, haven't they? They're both in excellent shape.
The best example of breaking the mental side and suddenly getting to the finish line is Serena. 2 years ago, she was just really struggling in close matches. And since then, she's hardly lost.
About 30. Talk a lot about Jennifer Capriati's second serve, Pam, and as you look at this again, how has that been standing up today?
Okay, just okay. Too many double faults, really. But now I feel like the last game, when she threw in some unforced errors at 15-30 on Vento's serve, Capriati's gotten into a little bit of a mood issue now. She's upset with herself.
Break points.
She's not being patient.
Still break point against Capriati at 5-3. This would put the players back on serve in the second.
Wow, a wild one.
So that's where we are on serve in the second at 5-4. Maria Vento Kabchi will serve to try to level in the second. She lost the first to the number 3 seed.
Introducing Cayenne, pure Porsche in the most unexpected form.
Have you ever met special friends on vacation? I have, in Guadalajara. We stay in touch. In fact, I've been invited back to visit their home, birthplace of mariachis and tequila, and to enjoy at Vallarta its beautiful beaches, ocean marinas, and golf. The first time I came to Mexico, I was a tourist. Now, I have a city full of friends that make me feel right at home.
Mexico, closer than ever.
Time to get to work. It's Monday morning. If you haven't left yet, traffic is backed up on the 10. Taking a look at those roads.
Starbucks Double Shot Espresso drink is an invigorating blend of espresso and cream to help you take on your day.
Bank of the West Classic. And a warm welcome back, everyone. Jennifer Capriati had a 5-2 lead here. She just served for them match and was broken. Now Vento Kabchi to try to get back even.
Love it.
Love 39, Capriati 2 points away from the match.
And you also go through stages in your career where you're, for some reason, much happier breaking serve to end a match than you are holding for the match. And I think that can be said about Capriati right now.
3 match points coming up.
Love 40.
Jennifer Capriati breaks serve for the match. Straight set win for her. And some struggle for her in that throughout, really.
Yeah, she still looks a little uneasy. I think she thought she was always going to win the match, but it did get complicated in both sets. But for Capriati, this is a big match. This is winning a semifinal, something she's done only one other time this year.
6-4, 6-4. Jennifer Capriati, a winner. She will play in the championship match against either Schiavone of Italy or Kim